Good evening everyone and welcome back to FTRL for the penultimate week of our GT1 Championship. Back to the sprint races this week. We are at Sardegna B, the B variant. And I am joined once again with Mr. Blue Flag. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
As you say, back to sprint races and back to dry weather after last week's boat race.
There is no rain at Sardegna. Guaranteed. We don't have rain here, so thankfully they will all be very happy. And they're out of the Group 2 cars as well. They're into the slightly nicer Group 3 cars around here. Yeah. Sardegna be home of the wind turbines. That's how we all associate with this track. It's the most common feature. There's wind turbines everywhere you look around this track. And it's definitely a track that they all will know extremely well, as we've raced here God knows how many times in FTRL. Very frequent.
Yeah, featured quite often this circuit, so everyone should be well versed in where it goes.
Yeah, there will not be any mistakes where they're going definitely this evening, and it's a track in which quite a few of the drivers this evening are very, very fond of.
Yep, there's one or two. There's one or two not so fond of it, but yeah, the majority of the grid I think outweighs.
Yeah. So we are on board with one of those drivers. Now Aaron, this is his, I would say, his favourite or his quickest circuit. It is definitely one of his favourites, if not the favourite. Now he absolutely loves it around here, and just before we went live, he was the man setting the quickest lap times. However, it is a short quali session, and Aaron has not been great at quali this season at all. I think that's fair to say. He said some pretty shocking...
Don't curse him straight off the bat, for God's sake.
He said some pretty shocking quali laps recently, which I always want to record, and he's come back during the races. Now, if he can actually get a really good quali lap and start near the front, you never know. He might be on for some really good results this evening. Come on, Aaron. Let's get the show on the road.
He's normally been a man on the move in the races, so...
Definitely.
Yeah.
Let's hope he doesn't have to move very often this evening. Ross is also someone who is very, very quick around here. He's had quite a good few results. Tom as well, but Ross is very quick around here. He really is. He enjoys it a lot. On the opposite end of the scale, would you like to let them know who is not a big fan of this track?
Well, two drivers in particular that I've heard not enjoying themselves this week are Pagani and Graham. Yes.
Pagani's never been a fan of the Sardegnas particularly, has he? Any of the variants, really. He's not a big fan of them for some reason. Not one of his favourite tracks. Good evening, everyone. There's Derek in the chat. There's James in the chat who won last night. His first ever win in GT2, so very well done to him. And then there's also a Rom as well. So good evening, lads. Make sure you give the stream a little like. And we're on board with Pagani for his opening lap. Now, there's quite a few banked corners on this circuit, particularly towards the latter stage of the lap. There is one in Sector 1 as well. Is Aaron instantly into the 18s? There we go. 18.7. Biggles 20.5. There's Ross in the 19s. And T. Smith in the 19s. Witchell's in the 18s. Graham back in the 19s there. Lee's in the 19s as well. And so is Will. Pagani low 19s for him. Captain Chubb as well. So the only two men in the 18s is Aaron and Witchell. So there we go. Straight at the bat, Aaron gets his lap in. Now this is a bit of a different track. They should manage 3 quali laps. Unlike us last night that just about lucky to get 2 laps in. It was that tight. But yeah, shorter track this one, isn't it, Si? Much shorter.
Yeah, but one of the shorter tracks for the season, especially into comparison for what they've got next week with the 6-minute lap Nordschleife.
Yeah, Derek putting in the chat that he's good old Scotland game done by half time, knowing I was going to watch this. I was also the same, Derek. I was just watching it as well, and glad to pay attention.
Very kind of Scotland to finish their match early.
It's very rare to be a Scotland fan and be happy with how we're playing. It's very strange.
Aaron about to complete his second lap. Is he any quicker? No, is the answer.
Last lap now. He's got one more lap to go. Witchell, what's he going to set for his second lap? He is currently coming across the line now, and he's nowhere near quick enough on this lap, so he's going for the last lap. Everyone looks like they're going for a good last lap as well. Graham and Will are improving. Will, good lap there. P3 for Will.
Good lap for Will, yeah.
Good little Captain Chubbs. Up to P3 as well now. There we go. It's been a difficult few weeks, Captain Chubbs, actually. He's been a wee bit off the pace compared to what we're used to with Captain Chubbs. He's rapid.
Speaking of off the pace and what we're used to, T. Smith down in P6.
Now, I think this might be due to the fact that, as I said, quite a few people really do enjoy this track. Now, that might be skewing things a little bit. Because
I mean, I'm wondering if some of Tom's problem is he's found himself in some traffic here.
Aaron is purple through the middle sector. He's 4 100s up, so he's got this. Not sure he was a little bit out of shape going through that left-hander there.
Chubb's big squirm out of the hairpin. He's a 10th up on his own time, but it's not purple.
Well, Aaron is coming across the start-finish line. I'm not sure it's going to be quite quick enough for an improvement here. I'm not sure his last sector was quite as good. Oh, it is! Oh,
it is an improvement.
Never mind me, I'm talking rubbish. He's a 10 up for an improvement. It's an 18.6. Witchell is on the start-finish straight now. Ross 18.7, 19.3 for
Good
Biggles.
lap from Ross.
Witchell doesn't get on the front row. There we go. T. Smith only P5 for T. Smith. Well, P6. He improved again. There we go. Witchell's not on the front row of the grid. Have we said that at all this season? I don't think so.
So unless it's been a reverse grid race, I can't recall many occasions where we've been able to say that.
There we go to SPY as well, jumping into P5. There we go, T. Smith down in P6 there we go. So it just shows you, some people love this track, and can I just give myself a wee round of applause for saying Aaron and Ross love this track, and then they've got on the front row. It's great from me, great observations. Perfect. That's the first time I've ever done that. Now, hopefully I've not jinxed Aaron and he is actually going to get off the line and win the race. Otherwise, it's really bad.
It's a monster lap from Aaron.
It is 18.6.
It's been a long time coming, so he's finally broken his qualifying hoodoo.
Yeah, I think that was starting to get to him a bit as well. I think it wasn't letting on it, but
I think it really was eating away in that one.
Yeah, because he was really struggling. You don't usually see Aaron struggling with anything, but it really was. But there we go. That's a way to get. Yeah, that's a way to get out of that kind of rut. There we go. Right, okay. Race 1, 5 red lights. We've got Aaron and Ross. Good friends, these two, off the line. Oh, Ross. Oh, what's happened with Ross? Is that a shocking start?
Horrible start.
Is that a shocking start? It's bogged a little. It just looks like he didn't go off the line. Aaron in P1 then. He's got Witchell behind. But unfortunately, Ross is way down the back now. He's lost a lot of positions. Aaron gets through cleanly into turn 1. Witchell still there, P2. Captain Chubbs is P3. And then SPY and Pine are side by side going through the left hander. T. Smith is having a look down the inside as well. They're going 3 wide and in the next corner. T. Smith down the inside with both of them, and he's up to P4. Jumps up 2 places. Pine then in the background, still having a wee bit of a battle with SPY. Then you've got Lee in P7. Ross is down in P8 after his bad start. You've got Pagani P9. Then comes Will. You've got side by side in the background. You've got Graham and Biggles battling for P11. Graham holds out in P11. There we go.
So, I think the reason Ross got a bad start is because Mikey cursed him.
Oh.
Mikey's saying in the chat that having Ross alongside Aaron would be good for him because Ross won't do anything stupid. Yeah.
Wow.
That's gone well.
He wasn't alongside him for very, very long.
Very long.
Yeah, well, Aaron is definitely not got away from Witchell. Witchell is right there, 3 temps, but they do have a nice comfortable 1.2 second gap behind to Captain Chubbs. So there we go, and he is a bit of a bottleneck for Pine behind him, and then T. Smith.
Ross had dropped down to P8, but he's got himself back into 6th, so...
Noticed that at the same time as you there, he's just jumped up 2 places, so he's back up to P6, so comeback drive from him. He's very quick ground here, so I wouldn't be surprised if he still gets a top 3. Mike's saying he might have to log into the FTRL channel and delete the comment before Ross.
Graham and Will going side by side for P10.
There we go.
Will's going to have to go the long way.
It's 2 side by side up ahead as well, actually.
If he can keep it there, he's got the inside for the next corner.
He does indeed. This is a very banked inside corner. It's quite a satisfying corner though, that one, isn't it? It's quite nice when you go around it.
Yeah, the camber and the downhill nature just invite you to get on the power early.
It's a lovely corner, it really is. There is some really nice corners.
Though I often find I get on the power too early and then end up in the kitty litter on the outside.
Pine has managed to jump Captain Chubbs, so on that lap. Witchell's right behind Aaron. Aaron has a dodgy run.
Witchell's looking.
Well, you'd have to be grateful round there.
Just showed the nose.
Yeah.
Showing his intent.
I think he thought that might not be the best place to go for an overtake, which I think was wise. But down the inside there is tricky.
Yeah, it did, has compromised his run down the straight
Chubbs penalty. Half second. Now, the penalty line I think is on the start-finish straight here, isn't it? Is it not? Unless it's moved, but it was in GT7.
Might be the back straight. This is GT7.
Oh, down the inside, that's Ross and Lee. He's going side by side. Oh, Ross, get on the squirmy there on the power, and Lee's moved back ahead of Ross, so what Ross drops back down to B7 now. Chubbs has got that penalty, so that's going to allow T Smith up to P4. Now, Aaron is still got Witch on slipstream range, but he's not quite as close at the moment. And Pine is gaining a little bit on Witch, who's getting half a second on this lap, so Pine is having a good little spell the last few races. Now T Smith is going down the inside.
He's having a look, yep.
I think Captain Chubbs actually let him go there.
Yeah, I think Chubbs knows he's got that penalty. It's pointless holding Tom up.
It must be the start finish. Still, it must not have changed. Yeah, as it's come up now on the screen.
So that'll be what, just after they come out of that chicane?
Yeah, it's quite costly, I think, here, to be fair.
Yeah, it's in the chicane.
It's in the chicane. Oh, interesting. Okay. Now Captain Chubbs drops down to P7. He's going to drop down to.
That's a rather awkward place to put a penalty line.
That's what I'm thinking.
It's fortunate they ghost you when you serve a penalty, because that would cause some trouble.
I mean, I went inside someone that was having a penalty last night, and I'd actually nearly have some brown stuff coming out of it. Yeah.
Right, well, the front two have broken away from the pack behind.
They have indeed. Now, 1.5 seconds. It's kind of maintaining kind of that gap now. T Smith is going to have that clean air now that he can try and see if he can catch up to the back of Pine. Lee's having a good race, P5. Now Lee's had I don't think he's managed to gel with the cars really this season, has he? He's struggled with them. Lee's quite unique with his cars that he likes. He prefers the kind of big muscly cars, doesn't he? Like a Nissan GTR or things like that. He's not these kind of cars. I'm not kind of sure entirely suit Lee, to be honest.
No, though, he has had one or two good drives that have maybe gone under the radar. I think didn't he pick up a podium at Austria?
He did pick up one at Austria, I remember right. Yeah. But it did take him a while to get used to the car. I remember at the start of the season he was really struggling with it. But he seems to have gelled with it a little bit more recently, which is nice to see. Pagani down in P8. Now, as I say, Pagani is not a big fan of this track, which might explain why he is down in P8. At the moment, but Wells in P9, he's just at the back of this little FTRL train that we have, and then Graham, SBY and Biggles is like that. The Biggles is still well in touch though, it's only 10 seconds off the lead. This looks like a race-long battle though, between these two at the front. Doesn't look like going anywhere, does it?
He's closed back in from that half a second gap.
T Smith is
ebbing and flowing.
T Smith has kind of lost a teeny bit of time to Pine, so it looks like he's going to have to settle for P4 unless there's accidents up in front of him.
I mean, there's still 10 laps this go. Witchell's having a look at Aaron to the hairpin.
Oh, he is indeed. He's got the outside line though, Aaron, there, so he's going to...
Yeah, Aaron's managed to keep the momentum out of the corner, so giving himself the run
what that
to the
has
next
done,
one.
Though,
Pine's coming.
Pine onto the back.
Yep.
That maybe wasn't the most strategically wise decision from Witchell there, as that's just kind of not got on the place.
Yeah, it's just slowed the pair of them down.
Yeah.
So
Aaron's far enough in front now for this straight. There's no way he's going to go for a move here. He's too far back. So Aaron's got some breathing room into turn 1. Has a little look, but then yeah, he is too far back. He's never going to actually make a move there. In the background though, the FTRL train is from Lee down to Will. 5 cars, all separated by 2 seconds. We did say though that there's a lot of people very, very close in times now. T Smith has all of a sudden found some pace. 18.5, which was quicker than the pole lap times. There we go. T Smith finding the pace. Maybe he never showed his true ability in qualifying. Well, he is now. 18.5. He's getting quicker and quicker as we go through the race. So 2.3 seconds now covers the top 4. So very, very tight.
Oh, Pine's off. Pine's off in the gravel.
That's going to allow Tom around the outside. Is he going to go for it? He's going to do it for a kind of cut back. Switch back move. And he's through. There we go. Nicely done from Tom. Saw the opportunity. He knew he was going to be on the inside line, not on the right line. And just managed to cut back. And Pine's not had a good exit there. What I've noticed, he goes a little bit wider, Pine, through that corner.
Which when he close to this time round, I don't think he is.
I don't think he is. I think it's the exact same, isn't it?
It's marginal. So it looks like if Aaron can get onto that straight with like a 3.5-4 tenth gap, he should be safe into turn 1. Yeah,
it's not that long a straight actually. Yeah, you don't gain too much with slipstream actually at all. Some tracks you gain a lot more in slipstream, but around here it's not much at all. And there isn't many straights, there's only that back straight, but that's not long either, that's quite short, that one.
Sean and Graham side by side, coming into the second sector.
Well, it's staying the same out front, it's not changing at all. And T Smith obviously is in P3 now, so interesting to see if he can start to close the gap, especially if they begin to fight a bit more as well. Derek's saying that he loves the sight of all the pink. Yeah, well, they are very quick, these two, Pine and Witcher. It's a formidable pairing, isn't it? Those two together. Very, very quick. Now Ross is very close to the back of lead. He's not quite close enough though for a move unless he goes for a dive.
Lead moving around trying to break the toe.
Ross doesn't usually go for gaps like this, he usually waits.
Don't want to make too many moves down that straight, otherwise you'll probably cop a post-race penalty for blocking.
Lee did not have the best exit there, but then Ross is...
Pagani's got to run at Chubbs.
Indeed. Good spot. He's going for a switchback though, isn't he?
He's up the inside there, broke himself.
Contact on the power. Well, Pagani is. Ooh.
Yeah, Pagani making that move, running himself a bit deep.
Chubbs is still there. He didn't get the best exit there, Pagani. He was a bit squirmy on the power.
Yeah, has Chubbs got any overlap to it? Go for this into the hairpin?
Nope, not brave enough.
No, thinks better of it. Oh, big squirm.
No, the gap out front, still the same.
Yeah, he's just keeping Witcher at arm's length. He's doing enough at the moment. But Witcher's had a better run through the chicane this time. He might go for this.
He's quite close here, isn't he?
Yeah.
Is he going to go defensive, Aaron? No, Witcher goes for the move down the inside. Aaron's got the outside line, so if he holds it, he might have the best exit. Witcher, though, does get through at the moment. Aaron will get the better exit. Yet. It's side by side. Aaron backs out. He just waits. Will he try and see if he can get it back on the next lap? There is still 5-6 laps to go here.
He's got plenty of time.
Tom is eking closer. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Catching up. He might need a bit more battling between these two though to actually properly catch up, I think. Pine still P4, then Lee and Ross. Lee's having a really good race here. He's managing to keep the pace here. He seems to be quite enjoying himself as well. Lee.
Garni and Chubb still maintaining close quarters with each other.
They are indeed. Good spot. As well in the background as well, who's keeping a bit of a watching brief, just keeping an eye on things. Hoping for some action, hoping for some mistakes. And an easy way through. And there's Graham P10, SBY P11, and Biggles P12, who's just set his fastest lap of the race, which is a 19.1, which I think I've said this a few times with Biggles, but he does have some good pace. Like, a 19.1 is very, very competitive. 19.1's quicker than Graham and SBY set for their quicker laps. So some good pace. Aaron is just inside slipstream range, but he needs to get a bit of a move on to keep up with slipstream.
Which was starting to stretch.
Yeah, he's not.
This isn't done. Oh, Chubbs! I was just about to say this battle for P7 isn't done yet, and Chubbs dropped it out of the left-hander just before the words could pass my lips. So that won't count as a curse.
Oh, Tom's had a moment. I think he went wide out of the... I just caught right at the end of that. He was going really slow. I think he's basically caught the gravel on the outside of that downhill corner.
He may have done what Pine did. Oh,
punted him.
Was that contact?
Pine absolutely punted him, and both of the Braun cars are off.
So that promotes Lee into a podium position. There's going to be some I think there'll be some tidying up to do later tonight over that one.
Yeah, that was a punt and a half, that one, from my angle anyway. There we go, Lee Call then up to P3 now. In the background here you've got Garni now P5, well P6, and fortunately that incident with Tom has actually ended up affecting Ross as well, so he's now dropped down to P8. So yeah, it's not went well for the Braun boys, unfortunately, that one. I mean, obviously we don't entirely know what happened. It did look like there was push there from my angle.
Yeah, I didn't have the best view of it from the angle I got.
Pine is massively out of shape there. So out front, he's out of slipstream range, but he's not. It's not far.
SBY's managed to clear Graham after those two sort of just holding station for most of the race.
Pagani's now fairly comfortable in P5. Lee's okay in P3 at the moment. He has got Pine behind him, but not giving him any immediate danger. And that gap is now over a second. So
yeah, the 18.3 lap time from Witcher on lap 10's probably contributed to that.
That's pretty rapid, isn't it? 18.3. That's
But an 18.5 from Aaron on the previous lap, that's not exactly slow.
No, it's not. Definitely not. Well, Pagani is now right behind Pine, who has had another moment. Pagani has a chance here, getting up to P4, and Will's just there as well, and then Tom is in P7 as well, so he's on the comeback trail.
And take nothing away from this, it's been a very good drive from Lee.
It has, very much so.
He's been fairly consistent, he's kept it clean, he's capitalised on others' misfortunes and mistakes.
Avoided the incidents. Half the battle is avoiding the incidents.
Yeah, and not having any of your own.
Yeah, it's a lovely race, Lee. Well, Pine looks like he's got himself back, pointing in the right direction. But just to say that,
big twitch there. Yep.
I think Pine's issue is he pushes too much. Like, I think he just over tries sometimes, I would say, maybe. Like he's right again there. He just looks like he just, instead of driving at a really consistent pace, it looks like he tries and goes for it every lap, and I think that might sometimes be his downfall, where he does occasionally make that mistake, which he maybe could avoid. Because he's very, very quick.
Yeah, unfortunately, you can't drive every lap like a quali lap.
Yeah, that seems to be kind of his...
I mean,
the
really good guys can, but I know from my own experience I can't.
Yeah, I can't drive every lap like a quali lap, which doesn't work. Does not work. So Pagani up to P4 then. He's had a very solid, if unspectacular drive, Pagani. He's just avoided all the incidents and picked off some places, hasn't he? Just moved up to P4.
It's been very similar to his teammates drive in front of him.
Yeah. Just very consistent. Just gets along, pick up some places after some incidents and not make any mistakes. And he's getting quicker as well, 19.1.
So, yeah, unfortunately, the WRT boys are actually going to pick up some pretty good points by the look of it in this race. I say that with my Team Halford's hat on.
Yeah, they are very, very good at the moment. Unfortunately, the Braun boys are having not having a very good week as it stands at the moment. We had a bit of a shocker last night with me and Brad, didn't enjoy the track, and unfortunately, some incidents in this race.
Yeah, but I think with the advantage you had in the overall standings, you could afford a dodgy week.
That is very true.
Something's happened to SBY. He's dropped down to P11. He was running ahead of Graham a lap or two ago. Graham's got biggles all over him at the moment.
Yeah, so I had a look at that there very quickly, but Payne is right on the back of Will, where Will's got past Payne.
Will's got ahead of him, yeah.
Yeah, so Payne has made another
That's why that's so
mistake.
close.
Oh, he's Will on the back there.
Well, can you believe we're already on the final lap?
I know. It's very quick races, aren't they, these sprint races, obviously. Oh, Will has went off now. Payne was way over the back of him. Has he... I mean, not sure what happened there.
Well, Witchel's coming onto the straight for the final time, and he's going to claim another race victory in GT21.
Yeah, it's another victory for Witchel, one of many this season.
Aaron might be slightly disappointed with that P2, but it's a bloody good result for us.
He's not put a bit wrong.
It's a stellar result. Lee P3, great drive from Lee.
Yeah, so Pine P5, then comes Will, then it's Ross, T. Smith, Graham, Biggles, SBY, and Chubbs. Aaron in the chat saying some choice thoughts about how the pace of Witchel is quite good. I think it's fair to say. Yeah, there's that couple of laps after he got past. 18.3 is quite ridiculous. Let's be honest.
Yes.
And that wasn't even
that was his speedy boy.
That was 9 laps into a stint as well. So that means yes, it's quite quick. There we go. There's your result. Actually takes the win there, and fastest lap, of course, for that alien time of 18.3. So yeah, that was quick, wasn't it?
Yes, insane.
Very, very quick. Now, that is race 1. Now, Aaron shall do the wheel, and we'll find out what number we get between 6 and 10, I believe. And whatever number is selected, and then, for example, if it was 8, then you will have the top 8 reversed on the medium tyres. So 8 will start first if it was 8, and so on. And then the back, behind the reverse grid, they will be starting on softs. So you've got a difference in mediums and softs, and not as long a track around here, so I would suggest, without actually knowing and driving, possibly about 7.5 tenths, something like that. I would say maybe 3/4 a second will maybe be your rough, I would say. Usually it's about a second, but this is quite a short track, so
it's a shorter track. Yeah, you lose less time, obviously, by virtue of not having to drive it as far. But
That might be what we're looking at, about 3 quarters of a second, possibly. So it's a decent offset, obviously, and it still makes no difference because then there's more laps in these races, so you'll still have that same offset, basically.
Yeah, I mean, over a near 2 minute lap, last night, I was basically a second a lap slower on the medium side than I was on the soft. So
yeah, probably going to be about 3 quarters of a second roughly, maybe a wee bit less. But yeah, you'll have Witchell obviously starting on the mediums, and then you'll have everyone down to at least P6, whatever the final number is.
Yeah. Yes. Now, will Aaron remember to spin the wheel tonight?
Yes, we were.
As he was so engrossed in last night's action that he forgot all about it.
Yeah. Terrible, isn't it? Terrible. One job. Well, interesting to see is we're going to get reversed, and if it gets like P8, so that's going to be Ross and Tom on pole, is it not? P1 and P2.
It's P8.
So it's P1 and P2 is going to be Tom and Ross.
So the Browns are on the front row for this one.
That, I mean, I'm not going to... I know this is having my team hat as well, but that's quite a scary prospect for some of the guys behind, I would suggest. If they two can run away with it a bit, then even the guys in the soft might struggle to get through everyone in time to catch up with them. That could be because they two are quicker than what their race suggested last time.
Who's going to be on the soft then? So we've got Graham, Biggles, Sean
SBY,
and Chubbs.
Yep, so only 4 guys will be on the soft tyres. So you'll have a quarter of the field on softs and 2 quarters of the... a third? What? A third of the field.
Yes.
The softs and 2/3 on the... Yeah, just never mind.
Yes, 4 goes into 12 3 times, Zach.
Yeah. We shouldn't say I'm trained by primary school teacher, should we?
The youth of tomorrow are in good hands, it seems.
Yes, very much so.
Jesus.
Yeah, as soon as I said it, I was like, what am I talking about? It's quarters, it's birds. Yeah, there we go, never mind. Right, let's ignore my lack of fraction knowledge for this evening, and go back on to the guys on the medium tyres. Now, what we're going to... A couple of them are having a bit of a run through. I mean, I think most of us did that last night on the mediums, just to get a wee feel of how they feel. So I know for one, on each of the sprint races, I don't think I've ever done a lap on the mediums before. I've actually went onto the mediums for the race. It's just... concentrate on the soft, and you're lucky enough to be reversed, then you kind of deal with the mediums. How it works. Right, well, it's going to be interesting to see if anyone in the soft can get through quickly. There was quite a few of them last night that it took about time to get through last night within a track. There wasn't many overtaking places, so... But it's interesting to see. I mean, round here there's not massive amounts of overtaking places either. So, difficult place to overtake.
Yeah, it's not only the lateral grip that the guys are going to get in the corners out of that soft tyre, it's going to be the grip into the braking zone they're going to get too, so they'll be able to brake that a little bit later and get on the power early, so...
It does create an interesting differential this race, doesn't it, with the tyres? It is tricky, however.
I mean, it's been one of the best rule introductions I think that we've actually brought into FTRL in recent seasons. I think it's been a really good dynamic.
It has changed things a lot, hasn't it, in terms of how we go about strategy basically in race 2. Knowing that you've got quicker guys behind us, basically just trying to... Why has he put a 2-minute warning in twice? Has he got a stutter? He's not told us about? Maybe he's just repeating himself all day. Don't know. It's a weirdly normal number for Aaron though, putting a 2-minute warning. Usually it's like 105.2 seconds or something. Weirdly normal for him. Well, there's 19.7 for Witcher now. That is about a second off, isn't it? What he's doing. I would say maybe about 18.7 was
Yeah,
about his
I
average.
think off of his average race pace, yeah, it's about a second.
So, about a second, so it depends whether that's what, I mean, that is only one of his first proper laps on this, so we might get a better view on this lap, if it's a good lap, what he is.
Yeah, he was purple,
yes.
yep.
So,
yeah, he's gradually just finding out where he can push that tyre and all the other things.
It looks from that, it does look like it's going to be about 3/4 of a second roughly then. Because it looks like it's going to be like a 19.6, 19.5, so yeah, you are about 3/4 of a second off where he was. And there's Ross 19.7 as well, and which is going to come across the line for what's going to be a 19.7 as well. It's an improvement. So yeah, we're talking about 3/4 of a second roughly, and obviously there's 15 laps. So let's hope Ross gets off the line this time.
Yeah, put it in gear, Ross.
Pagani wanting to change the softs. Right, okay. Come on, Ross, go off the line. 5 red lights for race 2. Top 8 on the mediums, back 4 on the softs, and Ross is off the line this time. Good job, Ross. So Tom and Ross actually had a good start, I think, compared to the rest of the field. They've got a decent gap. Pine in P3, you've got Well in P4, you've got Pagani's had a decent start as well, having a little look. But into turn 1 it goes, T. Smith and Ross through comfortably. Pine is in P3, then you've got Well in P4, Lee's in P5, Pagani's dropped down a place into P6. You've got Witchell who's going side by side with Aaron, and to the next corner, Aaron's going round the outside. Oh, brave!
Carrying the speed.
He's had a moment.
I think he got hindered there by Pagani.
He's lost a lot of places because of that. He did nearly manage it, but I think it was just a little bit too much speed going round that. It was rapid. Well, there we go. T. Smith and Ross are away, and Pine is having a look though down the inside of Ross, and then you've got Well in the background.
Ross
out of shape. Pine looking to go round the outside, and he is through up into P2. He's got T. Smith to chase after now. Ross is back to P3. Then comes Well now. Still Lee, Pagani and Witchell. Graham's in P8 now. Remember, he's on the softs. So is Captain Chubbs. So these two are our benchmarks for how quick the soft guys are going to be compared to the medium runners. Bear in mind there's near enough no tyre wear as well. So. Oh, that's Well on Ross. Having a look down the inside.
Chubbs having a
sniff Ross
at
having a look. Down the inside, there we go, Ross up to P2 then.
Yep, Chubbs has got Graham for P8, so Chubbs is now the first of the soft guys.
And he's going to start chasing after Witchell. We know how quick Captain Chubbs is if he keeps on the road.
Yeah, he's normally a happy boy on the softs, but yeah, keeping it on the road is normally his challenge.
Ross is still battling with Pine. Pine having a look down. Oh, that was late.
Lee up the inside of Will.
This is frantic, by the way. This battle for P2. And they are letting Tom get away. He's 1.6 seconds now in front.
Yep, Tom's out there just going, keep fighting boys, keep fighting.
There we are. There's a lot of cars side by side in the background.
Graham back up the inside of Chubbs. It's allowed SBY to get a run. Biggles is there, Aaron's there.
There's a lot of cars side by side there around the back. Bear in mind, Aaron is on the mediums, everyone around him's on the softs. Witchell's had a good run there on Pagani.
Pine was very sideways through that chicane and has given Will a run.
Yeah, I'd imagine Will's going to get past here. Down the inside he goes. Pine's going to have to try and hold it round the outside. Last of the late breakers, and Will gets it done. Pine's going to try and go for a bit of a cutback possibly.
Chubbs ran the outside of turn 1 on Graham. He's got that to stick.
These two need to stop fighting if they want to take advantage of these soft tyres.
They need to stop fighting each other and fight what's in front of them.
Yeah, they're both on the same tyres. Witchell having a look at Pagani. That was brave. I was going for a bit. Captain Chubbs now may have an advantage on Pagani. Round the outside. Remember, he's on the soft tyres. He's going to have a bit more grip. Have a watch of this down into the next corner.
Oh, I thought Graham was going to have a run then.
Yeah, so did I.
Just ducks back in.
Captain Chubbs now, here we go, he's down the inside, he's going to be able to brake later than Pagani. There he goes, down the inside of Pagani. Pagani holds it round the outside, Pagani then goes on the gravel. Captain Chubbs up to P7, Pagani drops down to P9 at the moment. Aaron having a look down the inside of Biggles then. Up to P10 he is. Gets past Biggles again. And Aaron's right behind Pagani now. These both on the mediums. The guys behind him are on the softs. T. Smith still out in front, 1.4 seconds. Then it's Ross. It's still the Braun boys in P1 and P2. Wills in P3. Then it comes Pine. So Will overtook him last lap. Lee's in P5. Once again, going well. Witchell in P6. He's on the mediums as well, remember. And Captain Chubb's the first of the soft runners in P7. Then comes Graham. Behind you've got battle P9. Pagani and Aaron side by side. Aaron up to P9 then, past Pagani. And he's off on a charge now. You can see any positions you can make up. Down the inside there's Witchell. Having a look at Lee. Lee trying to hold it round the outside. Witchell looks like he's got the move. Yeah, Witchell looks like he's got the move. Captain Chubb's having a look down the inside of Witchell. That's a bit late. Oh, what brave.
That was opportunistic.
Oh, this is this is full of action, isn't it? This is.
And this is why we love race 2.
This is quite chaotic. Captain Chubb's having a little look down the Witchell there. A little bit late though. Lee having a little look. Captain Chubb's.
Did to Will.
A bit wide there, wasn't he? He just needs to drive at a consistent pace here. He's going to be quicker than the guys in front of him. He's only 4 seconds off the lead. He's got 5 cars in front of him. Where can he get to? Now Will's outside a slipstream range of Ross, and Pine's just inside.
I think Graham's got to run at Lee here.
Oh, he does indeed. Here we go.
Going to have to go the long way round turn 1, but it can be done. I've seen Chubbs do it.
Chubbs having a look as well. Chubbs is down the inside at the same time. There we go. Lee holds on. Chubbs and Witcher going side by side. Chubbs is up to P5. So there we are. Gets past race 1 winner Witchell, and he's up to P5. Captain Chubbs is off in a charge. Though I think. Oh, I was about to say. I think the biggest issue Captain Chubbs is going to have is keeping it in a straight line. And just as I was about to say that, he nearly didn't keep it in a straight line, and unfortunately, he has lost that place back to Witchell.
It was that corner that did in the last race.
Yeah, that Captain Chubbs' biggest downfall here on this race is not going to be any other drivers. It's going to be if he can keep it on the road, I think.
Graham showing Lee the nose into the hairpin. He had to really throw the anchors out, not to.
They're side by side. The two.
Oh, there's a bit of a tap there.
Oh, there's Aaron up to P8 now.
Allowed Aaron.
Remember, he's on the medium tyres as well. So Lee struggling a little bit to get some pace on those medium tyres. He was very quick on the softs in race 1. Oh.
Chubbs all over the grass in that chicane.
Yeah, has he got a penalty then? He might pick up a penalty.
So he got away with it. Witchell's got to run him, whatever happens.
Gone very aggressively, isn't it? They're very nearly pushing each other off the track.
Chubbs trying to give Witchell the squeeze. He's going to go
really
the long way round.
Witchell's going to get the move here, but then Captain Chubb's going to have the outside line, which is a bit better in terms of getting traction. They're still side by side. They're still banging wheels, banging doors. Captain Chubbs, though, looks like he's got that move finally done up to P5. Now let's keep an eye on him. Hopefully he can get round this banked right hand.
Nice and straight this time.
Yeah, nice. Nicely done. Well done. There we go.
Oh, top forwards as you were. Yep.
Yeah, not much happening, is there? Nice cam collected. 19.5's the fastest lap of the race here at the moment, which is Ross on the medium tyres. That will go at some point from someone on the softs, I'm sure of it, once it starts to even out a little bit in terms of gaps.
Pagani's put it in reverse and gone back to P12.
Yeah. Those medium tyres. Not very happy. He did want a last minute transfer to the softs, unfortunately, but it appears his race engineer wasn't listening and he's still on the mediums. Much to Pagani's disliking, as he's very much cutting some grass there on the way through the chicane at the end. And for his troubles, expect to have a penalty, so that's gonna make him even more happier. SPY on the softs has now beaten Ross's time on the mediums, 19.4. In fairness, T. Smith is also at 19.4, just a couple of hundredths short of that time. Very competitive lap times though from the top two. The top three, in fairness, are doing very well. Will's having a under the radar evening, which he's driven really well actually so far. Some good points on offer here for One Motorsport if we can keep up his good driving. 19.6, 19.8, he's in the 19s in the medium tyres, and he is keeping tabs on the front two while getting away from Pine. Oh well, chance for a podium here. See what Captain Chubbs can do, but it's just as I went on board with him, he's all over the shot again there on the traction. Now he's 5 seconds off of the lead. Now that actually has grown as he's had a couple of dodgy laps. Now he needs to start getting some lap times in the 18s.
He's only had a 10th out of Pine on this lap.
He needs lap times in the 18s. Lee is very wide. He's off the track almost. He's slow. He is off the track. He is off the track. He was very, very wide, and he tried to keep it. He tried to keep it going, and unfortunately, by doing that and still being on the accelerator, he bended it in the process. So that was unfortunate from Lee. He tried to catch it, but unfortunately, it wasn't for being caught. Captain Chubbs is not gaining any time at the moment. He's still 5 seconds ahead behind the leaders, so he's actually losing a bit of time. It's very calm out front though. They're just driving to their pace. They're not much happening, to be honest. It's nice and calm. All the action's down the back of the field at the moment. SBY on the back of Biggles. Keep an eye on this. There's Pagani in the background. And then you've got Lee after his spin on lap 7 there right at the end. Biggles has actually had a good run through there, and he's actually dropped SBY a little bit. Although he was a bit pedestrian through that chicane, which is allowed. SBY back in slipstream range. Graham in front wasn't great for that chicane at all there. I did say it personal best, but Biggles had a much better exit. Graham being caught slowly by Biggles and SBY. Aaron doing well in P7.
Chubbs now half a second behind Pine.
Witchell was just set at 19.2 on the mediums.
I thought Witchell was gaining on Chubbs.
That's pretty rapid. Now Pine.
As Chubbs goes purple.
Yeah, Pine is all of a sudden dropped back quite a bit from well. He's dropped a few more tenths, and that's now Captain Chubbs, who's speeding up a little bit to catch up to the back of him. Now Pine and Chubbs. Okay, it's going to be an interesting battle here, I feel. Now, does Chubbs let him go, or does Pine let him go even, or is he going to fight tooth and nail for this? Now Chubbs, he may not have much of a say in this, as Chubbs is absolutely all over the back of that car, and he is already pulling out of the slipstream. Oh, very aggressively though. That's a squeeze. Captain Chubbs is already up and just ahead now, so it looks like it's going to be a fairly easy move. He's on the faster tyres as well, so yeah, as long as he gets it turned in, which he does. There we go. Captain Chubbs up to P4, and now he's finally getting some pace. There we are, 19 flat last time around. He's finding some time. He's got 5 laps. I don't think he's going to be able to get up to the top, but a podium is well within reach if he can get past the well. So all is not lost for Chubbs here. He can still get this podium. 1.4 seconds to find. That's roughly the same gap between the top 3. It's about 1.4 seconds between them all. Pine broke very late there. He got some excellent grip though on those medium tyres. SBY in P9, he's got past Biggles somewhere. And then it's Pagani and Lee. It was such a great first race for those two, wasn't it?
It really was, yeah.
It's all come crashing down a bit, hasn't it, in race 2, unfortunately for both of them. Yeah, that's unfortunate.
The two BWTs look like they're doing a switch around.
They are indeed. Are they?
Well, maybe not.
I don't think they are.
I don't know. It just looked like Mitchell had such a speed advantage on that straight.
As they go side by side for the next 3 corners.
No, I take back what I said. He wasn't letting him go at all.
I was fully expecting it as well, and I was like, mate, I don't think he is. Oh, Payne, he's driving a little bit raggedly there for the inside. He's far too much in the inside. He was all in the curb and the grass in the inside, and it doesn't have to be an 18 models now, which was already through. Then Payne's having a look back. Oh, he's his teammate. He's your teammate. What on earth are you doing? Aaron's there now. I don't think that was the smartest decision he's ever made, I'll be honest.
Keep fighting, pink cars. Keep fighting.
I'm like, why are they fighting so hard? I've got 2 cars behind them, one of which is on soft tyres. Just let them go. Stop fighting. Right, it's Holmes, 2 seconds out in front from Ross.
SBY's found some pace.
Yeah, 18. I was about to say 18.6. Just saw that there. Popped up. That's
yeah, Chubbs had just done an 18.9.
How far? Oh, I was about to say how far away from Will is he? Not far is the answer to that. Oh, he's. However, that's
well, they both tried to throw it away. Then they both was over the grass.
That was close, wasn't it? It does scare me. I love watching Chubbs because he's so laughing, but it also scares me as well because he's always sideways. Oh well, he's off the track. That Captain Chubbs up to P3 now. There we go, easily done for Chubbs. Now he's got 3 laps left. He's got 3.7 seconds. I don't think he's going to be able to catch that. Especially with what they're doing out front. He's only half a second quicker than them. And 3 laps, that's going to be 1.5 seconds. He might just have a chance at Ross on the last lap. But he's really going to have a move on Chubbs if he wants to.
Yeah, if Ross keeps doing what he's been doing, I mean, he's just done a 19.3 compared to Chubbs' 19.1. So yeah, if Ross keeps doing that, he hasn't got a shot. Yeah,
he might just... If he can pull it a few more times, he might have a shot, maybe on the last lap, but it's going to be tight.
Well, Aaron's dropped down to P9.
Graham's right on the back of Payne. Remember, Graham's on softs, Payne's on mediums.
Yep, Graham's absolutely got a chance at another position here.
So is SBY here. SBY is rapid, as we know at the moment. He's just at 18.6. Oh, he's still...
Yeah, he's the quickest man on
track. Oh, he's round!
Pine's picked up Graham.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Maybe it's just me, but he's having a very...
Well, what we said about Chubbs not having a shot at Ross, he's got that to within a second.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on that.
18.6.
18.6. So
there we go.
That's what he needs to do.
I mean, this is heating up now for the battle for... Oh, he's wet.
Oh, he's deep.
Pushing a bit too much. I don't think he actually has to push that much anymore. If he gains even half a second this lap, he'll have a chance.
Well, Will's picked up a half-second penalty, but I don't think that's going to affect him too badly.
It may. I mean, that you do lose more than half a second.
Yeah, it is right at the front of that straight, isn't it?
It's not pleasant. That it's in a really bad place. Possibly the worst place I think I've seen on a circuit, actually. It's under a second. Oh, it's over a second now, but it's hovering.
Yeah, he needs to have a monster last couple of corners here.
Ross just needs to keep it, I think, glued to the tarmac, and he's got it. Because Captain Chubbs has not had the best end to the lap here, as he's not really gained at all. So he's gained a little bit there, but I think he's going to have to find somewhere opportunistic. I think. Oh, he's round. I think that's it, to be honest, for Captain Chubbs. He's made a mistake there, and He's off 1.2 seconds of the gap is now. Now, well, is just far enough in front of Witchell at the moment, but last lap battle possibly here for P4.
Yeah,
He'll well hold off.
He's going to have some pressure to deal with here as well.
He will indeed, from none other than Witchell, who is, we'd comfortably say, is the fastest man in the division, and he's got them all over on the last lap of the race. This Wells drove exceptionally well tonight. Had a really good evening. He's driving nice and consistently. Out front though, it's been a bit of a quiet race actually for the Brown boys. I mean, I'm not complaining. We needed it after some of my driving last night, but yeah, nice and calm from these two. They're going to come round the last few corners here to take top two. Payne and Graham are going side by side. Payne and Graham quite aggressive there, and Payne is letting Graham through, I think, here. After that, T. Smith comes home P1, Ross P2, 1-2 for the Brawn. Captain Just for a podium P3. Well is holding off Witchell for P4, Witchell's P5, SBY is P6, then comes Aaron P7. Biggles is P8, Pagani's P9, then comes Graham and Payne for P10 and P11, and then Lee is going to come home and P12.
That wasn't a bad result for the One Motorsport boys in that one, with a 4th and a 6th.
Yeah, that was a really good result for them actually, that one. There we go, there's your little result as well. So you have a quick look. SBY with the fastest lap there, 18.6 on the soft tyres. So there we go. So there we go, on to race 3, which is our reverse championship order. So everyone's back on softs, so the guys on the mediums will be very pleased with that. And you will have reverse championship order, so that means Witcher will be starting at the back, Stone last for him, and then it will be back to front order, reverse championship. But I say everyone on softs, so we'll be happy about that. And this is the last sprint race of the season in GT1. Next week it's Notchlife, which will be great fun. I'm sure they're all looking forward to that. And then obviously it is our team championship finale, and the top 4 teams, 16 drivers, all around the Spa circuit. GT1 drivers on the mediums and GT2 drivers will be on the softs, and that will be coming up in it'll probably be 3 weeks time, I think, because 2 weeks time is Silverstone, so we'll be having a week's break, so we'll have a 2 week gap between, I'd imagine, between the after next week till the season finale, I believe. How is the team championship looking? Should have a look. P4 and P5. Who is tight to get in? Now it looks guaranteed, I would say, that Braun and BWT are going to be in the fight in the last the team championship. The top 4, Rebellion, WRT and Halfords all have something to play for between P3 and P5. It looks like it's a bit out of sight for One Motorsport, but definitely a battle between Rebellion, WRT and Halfords for the final 2 spots. So that definitely will be interesting to keep an eye on. All to play for going into the last week of the season before the season finale.
Yeah, it's 2 difficult races to finish on. GT2 have their wet week.
Don't even remind me.
Around the Tokyo Expressway East layout.
Walls! Lots of walls!
And as Zach mentioned, GT1 will have an hour or so around the Nordschleife.
I mean, I'm not sure what I'd rather actually. I might rather the wet week than Nordschleife. I hate Nordschleife. I can't remember all the corners. Right, okay. Final sprint week of the GT1 season. We're going to have Biggles and Graham starting us on the front row, all on softs. And Biggles gets us off for the last sprint week. He's had a good start actually. Graham's not had such a good start. And he's got Lee Cole, who's having a little look at him down the inside. So Lee might be down the inside in towards turn 1. Biggles is definitely going to be taking the lead into turn 1. He's going to be in P1. Lee is getting over in P2. It's a bit of what I'm not going to swear, but it's a bit of a cluster F word going on in the background there. What was happening there, I don't know, but there was a lot going on into turn 1 there. Don't even know what caused that, I have no idea. But in the process, somehow Aaron's in P4 and Tom has jumped up to P5 and Witchel's in P6. Bear in mind, they started stone last. So yeah.
Yeah, whatever happened, it's dropped Graham all the way down to P11 from P2 on the grid.
I think there was some sort of contact between Ross and Graham, but I don't know if there was contact before that, because it looked like there was a lot of contact, and even into the braking zone, like it looked like there was a lot. I don't know what was going on. There's definitely some contact between Ross and Graham, but I don't know if that's what started. I have no idea. Not a clue. Biggles anyway though is going to lead us through onto lap 2 from Lee. SUI's in P3. Aaron's got a chance here. He's in P4 and we know how quick he is around here, and he's already in the slipstream range of SPY. Can he pass him and try and fight for the race win here? Oh, who's that? Lee. He's going to be passed by SPY. Oh, what's happening? Look, banging wheels, banging everything there in the process. And in the process, T. Smith has got past Aaron, but then Aaron's down the inside of SPY. It's very tight, and Aaron's up to P3. I think it's 3 wide. Here, oh my! What is going on? Can't go 3 wide in there. Aaron's now P5. Got Witcher going alongside him in P6. That was scary looking, wasn't it?
Yeah. Meanwhile, out in front, run Biggles.
That's Pagani. He's having a Will having a moment there on the curb, and he's also picked up a penalty. He's sideways as well. He's dropped all the way down to P10 now. He's lost another 2 places, and he's going to be right down stone last after this penalty as well. And a couple of shocking corners for Will, unfortunately. But yeah, Biggles 2.3 seconds. Go on, Biggles. He's got pace. We know that. He's set an low 19 lap time. And that's T. Smith though, who's going to be past Lee. It looks like possibly they're going to go side by side. Lee's going to try and defend. T. Smith goes round the outside. He's nearly off the track though. And in the process, Lee keeps the place. SUI's having a look at getting back past Tom. Tom managed to hold position. Aaron's having a look down the inside. SPY goes defensive.
Have a look.
Oh, there's tyres moaning. Whose tyres were moaning there? Kind of like someone was about to spin.
Yeah, everyone's tyres were moaning.
Yeah, there's a lot of moaning there.
This is fast and frantic.
Yeah. Well, that's giving us a treat for the last sprint race of the season. There's that Aaron having a look at SPY there, and there goes Witchell down the inside. Oh, he backed out of it right at the last second there in the battle for P5. Aaron's right on the back still, SPY. This is quick, and it is also quite chaotic. But Biggles is loving it. He's 2.6 seconds out in the lead. He's come on, Biggles. I'd love to see Biggles get a podium or something. Yeah, that'd be great.
Don't worry about any of this, Biggles. Just keep
you
on your race, mate.
You go. You fly. Run off.
You let
go.
this lot
SPY
drive into each other, and yeah.
SPY's got a penalty. That's going to drop him. Now, Witcher on Aaron. He's having a look down the inside, side by side. Witcher gets up to P5. There's Pagani in the background as well. Aaron's coming back at Witcher though.
Yeah, Pagani just gave Aaron a little bump there and it gave him the momentum to get alongside
Pagani round the
Witcher.
outside, having a look at Witcher. Pagani's still having a look at Witcher now. He's down the inside. It's side by side. Pagani's up to P6. Witcher's not getting his own time of it at the moment, is he? They're giving it to him. They're fighting him. They're not letting him have these places easily. He's having a look back at Pagani now, though. And he's going to go and try and go round the outside. Pagani breaks a little bit later, though, and gets it turned in. Then Witcher gets a better exit. So now he's going to try and go round the outside, but Pagani's going to have the inside line. Pagani down the inside. Witcher's holding it round the outside. Pine's having a look as well. Still there. But he's going to have to back off for the time being.
SBY serving his penalty, so that should promote Aaron up.
It does indeed. He's going to be right in this fight here, isn't he? SBY with Pagani in that now, most likely.
Tom and Lee banging doors again.
So they are. Oh, they are so aggressive!
Tom trying to squeeze Lee over.
So aggressive! Oh, this is crazy. This is racing. This is. Biggles is 4 seconds out front. 19-2. He's purple through this first sector. Come on, Biggles, bring it home. Well, everything's going out behind him.
Will there be a more popular win this season if this happens?
Go on, Biggles. Go for it. He's still increasing. He's 4.1 seconds out in front. We're a third of the way through the race.
Just leave him be and let him drive. I don't want to curse the lad.
Oh, Tom's had a moment as well. It's up to 4.2. That's the thing, it's still increasing everywhere. It's 4.3 seconds went up to there. Come on, run off. Come on, Biggles. We've got the two BWT boys as well, P6 and P7, P7 and P8, sorry. This is like a giant FTRL train from P2 downwards. Look at it. They're all in it. It's like a train all the way down to the back. There's only a little bit of a gap between P8 and P9, and that's about it. Last time around, Biggles' fastest lap of the race, 19-1. We've got Lee who's having to deal with Aaron as well again now. That was proper defensive drive from Lee. He was trying his hardest to keep that place against Tom. Well, first time I've had a breather, to be honest, where there's not been about 4 cars going side by side. And Witcher and Pine, though, these two teammates. Oh, Witcher, that's Sandy. Taz will have it dirty for the next couple of corners as well now. So, have to keep an eye on watch there. A massive FTRL train though, all the way down. Lee leads it at the moment. As Tom's getting away and he's closing after. Biggles 18-8. However, Biggles is still 4.5 seconds clear of Lee. So he's still got this under control at the moment. And Lee's had a really good run for the first couple of corners. He's managed to get back in slipstream range of Tom. I'm sure Aaron's still looking for a way past though. Oh, he's so close to the back of him round that corner.
Lee's almost as infuriating to be behind as I am.
Yeah.
So I've been told.
He's down the inside. Oh, it's going to be difficult to defend this one. He's not going to have anything to do.
Nothing to do about that one. Aaron gives him no choice.
Having a look around the outside. Lee's going to have the inside lines. He's going to have to sit back here, SBY. He's not getting passed through there. But Aaron has dispossessed one of them. Tom Slowly catching Biggles, but not by much at all. So, for the time being, Biggles is okay. 19 flat. Keep doing those, and you'll be fine. Tom's got a penalty.
So's Aaron.
Is it happening?
Aaron, having just cleared Lee, may find himself back behind him.
Si, is this about to happen? Is Biggles?
I'm not saying anything. Just live in the moment.
Yeah, just keep calm and carry on. Lee's still P4 then, he's going to be P3 though at least.
Why is Pine in P12?
What has happened? He's had I think to be honest, he's had a very ragged evening, I would say, Pine. He's made a few mistakes, and unlike Pine, he doesn't usually make many mistakes, but there's a couple of mistakes this evening.
I wonder if he's been off on the exit of turn 1 because he barely made the next left-hander.
He's 4.2 seconds, so he was down through sector 1. So that would make sense. Just needs to get his head. He's nearly run again now. Well, he's dropped a little bit of time, Biggles, but Tom's going to have this penalty.
Tom's got that to under 3 seconds, but that's about to go back out.
Aaron's going to drop behind Lee here again, I think.
Here comes Lee, yeah.
Which is not going to be to Aaron's liking at all
Sean's
here.
coming too.
He might manage to hold off Sean, or is he? Is he going to hold off Sean? Aaron round the outside, Sean down the inside. Aaron's managed to hold him off. That was important, but he's got...
Yeah, that's well defended.
He's got Lee again, 4.2 seconds, Biggles still has. And we're on lap 9. There's not many laps to go.
Pagani having a look at Sean. Sean's still there.
And then
Witchell trying to buy in.
Witchell's going to have a look here, isn't he? This is going to be tight.
Couldn't get that over that.
This might not be pretty. 3 of them. Oh, it's it's handbags. Oh, it's just that was messy, wasn't it? That was messy.
Yeah, Witchell's lost out in all of that. It's dropped him back to P9.
I mean, I don't think I would have, if I was Witchell, trying to make it 3 wide.
I mean, going 3 wide into there was
never going to go, was it? Yeah. Well, 3.9 seconds now. 6 laps to go.
SBY penalty.
Oh, that's not going to be good now. He's already getting passed by Pagani as well. There we go. I am very scared at this point in time. I don't think I've ever been as nervous watching a race. Oh, side by side, is that Ross and Chubbs? Ross is trying to hold on to P7.
I'm going to divert your attention away from Biggles for a moment and just point out that Lee now has the fastest lap.
Oh, 18.6. Ross and Chubbs are side by side again, and there's Witchell now in the background as well of this. This is the battle for P6, 7, 8, 9. And it's frantic. Ross and Witchell rubbing wheels and tyres all the way through. And Witchell P8, Ross down to P9. SBY's got a penalty, so he's going to fall back as well. So probably P8 or P9. Gap's coming down out front as well. 3.5 seconds we're now at. 5 laps to go. Tyre wear's okay for Biggles as well. Nothing to worry about there. We've got Lee and Aaron, who's going to recommence their battle shortly. And then there's this absolute massive battle behind. SBY picked up that penalty. And Ross is going round the outside, and he's on the gravel, and he's off the gravel, back on the track now. Oh, and he's nearly round as well in the process. And that's going to drop him quite a bit behind. He keeps hold of P9 for the time being, though. SBY managed to get away with that, though, and only lose 1 place.
Yeah, he only dropped the 1 place to Chubbs there, so
got away with that, didn't he? Definitely. Well, this battle is heating up now between Aaron and Lee. Here we go again. Got past them once, then picked up a penalty. And now, here we are, round 2. But in the overall scheme of things, it's probably about round 750 odd between these two. They have a tendency to find each other, and Aaron ends up getting infuriated because he can never find a way past Lee, who is a metaphorical and literal bus when it comes to defending. 3.1 seconds, 4 laps to go. He's doing enough at the moment, Biggles, that it's going to be tough for Tom.
Sean with another penalty. He's just getting too greedy with that last little chicane.
Yeah, if you go a little bit too aggressive on the second curb, and you're a little bit too much on the grass, it instantly gives you a penalty. Like, you can't take much of it at all. It's always been a thing around here, hasn't it, with that penalty on that last chicane, for as long as I can remember. And Ross P9, we've got Will in P10, Graham's P11, Pine's still down in P12. A gap's closed quite a bit on this lap, 2.1 seconds.
Tom, he's pushing, he's 4/10 up purple this lap.
4/10 purple?
It's 4.7475. Nearly half a second.
What? That's an 18.1.
Yeah, if he can hold it.
1.7 seconds. He's gained a second on this lap. He's going to come across the line. It's an 18 flat. Bugger off!
Is he having a laugh?
Are you taking the mickey? Has he actually just set an 18 flat?
I mean, if I didn't witness it, I wouldn't believe it.
Oh damn it! I'm speechless. I can't believe that just happened.
Where has that come from?
I mean, if you're Biggles right now, that's like, yeah, you're. I mean, I don't know what to think here. Tom's my teammate, right? I mean, yeah. But a Biggles win right now, after me saying he had really good pace earlier on, he was just a bit inconsistent. This would traumatise me for life if he gets beat now. Even though Tom's my teammate, I don't know what do I want to happen. I don't know.
I think Tom would become FTRL public enemy #1 if he denies Biggles this win.
Come on, Biggles, hold it. Hold it. If he gets past, I want it to be a nice pass. I don't want Biggles to bin it or anything like that. I want it to be a normal. He's doing 19 flats. He's so consistent, Biggles, at the moment. 1.2 seconds, 2 laps to go. Biggles just needs to hold it in this next straight on the last lap, and he might have this. Couple of minutes to go, Biggles. Who's that? Oh, it's Lee. He's off. Lee's off. I heard a noise when I was on board with Aaron.
Yeah. Oh, I could too. I heard tyre squeal when I was looking for it. I think I've scrolled straight past him.
Lee having a moment there, drops down to P7. That promotes Pagani, Chubbs, Witchell. All up a place. Lee's dropped down to P7. He's got Ross in the background as well now. Out front, it's 7 tenths. Tom needs an extra 3 or 4 tenths though. Biggles must be bricking it right now. He's never won an FTRL, and he's got Tom, the 7-time reigning champion, 8-time? 9-time? 10-time? 10-time, I can't remember the number. 10-time reigning championship. It's half a second. If he can keep this, he might be okay for this last lap. He's actually had a decent run out the corner. It's 4 tenths. He's not going to be quite close enough here. So stay on board for the last lap.
We're impartial here at FTRL. Come on, Biggles!
Come on, Tom. Right, Tom is on the last lap. I'm on board with Tom, and I'm going to stay on board for the last lap. Biggles is 6 tenths in front of him as he's coming round now towards the end of Sector 1. 3/4 of a lap to go for Biggles at the moment. He's coming round. Sector 1 at the moment, still 6 tenths of a second. Biggles is holding him off. Nice and clean from Biggles down the inside there. getting a good exit. Tom's gained a 10th, it's down to half a second. Biggles just needs to keep it clean. Half a lap left.
If you can hear this, B, flash him now.
Go on, Biggles, he goes round the final couple of corners now. He's clean, 0.4 of a second. Tom's on the charge, he's having a look. Biggles, half a second in front, 2 corners to go.
Just get the run out of here, he's got this done.
Don't pick up a penalty as well. It's clean, he's got this. Go on, Biggles. Biggles is going to come across the line to take the race win for race 3. What a drive. Tom in P2, Aaron P3, Pagani is going to take P4, Captain Chubbs P5, Whitchell takes P7, P6, Lee's P7, Ross P8, Wells P9, Graham P10, SBY P11, and Pine takes P12. Go on, Biggles.
That will be massively popular, that win. I'm so happy for him.
Every lap he done in the 19s. Look at his consistency. He deserved that. That was... What a race that was. That was crazy. Action from start to finish. Biggles never looked back. He got a gap. And he just went for it. Incredible result. 18 flat from Tom is your fastest lap of the race and your fastest lap of the night by over 0.3 of a second. That lap is possibly the most impressive lap I have ever seen on commentary. And 18 flat.
I'm actually going to save that race replay because I've got to see that lap back.
That is ridiculous. 18 flat. There we go. That is your result then for race 3. Wow. Yeah, that was impressive. 3 different winners this evening as well. Whitchell, Tom and Biggles. There we go. 3 winners. 3 different winners for this evening for your last sprint week of GT1. Well, what a last sprint week it was as well. GT2 is back. GT3, sorry, is back on Wednesday night. GT2 on Thursday with their wet week to finish up on. So yeah, join us for that. We'll be petrified. GT1 is round the dreaded Notchlife. So yeah, 6-minute laps. That'll be interesting. I'll be away next week, but it'll be Si on commentary, I'd imagine. So do join him next week, next Friday, for the last week of the Drivers' Championship. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you had an entertaining evening as us.